Breeze from the north, very much on the cool side in Sydney. Racing now on the first, and a good line. The filly was first out, Nazwa, and there's no early opposition, although Shaggy now ridden up on the inside. Shaggy's going to try and hold out Nazwa. Hello Romeo lands third, the Nashville Jack from Steel Knight. Further back to Corbito down on the inside of Manerska, and 2 lengths away to Open Secret. Nazwa goes forward on the outside. Shaggy didn't push the issue any further, so Nazwa races about 1.5 lengths clear. From Shaggy in second, Hello Romeo third, then Steel Knight tugging along on the outside of Nashville Jack. Coming to the turn, and Nazwa 2 in front now to Shaggy, followed by Hello Romeo. Steel Knight getting to the outside. Nashville Jack with a rails hugging ride. Nazwa at the 300 metres, looks to have Shaggy's measure. Hello Romeo strides to second, then Nashville Jack and Steel Knight down the outside. Favourite's got a bit of a fight on its hand, Nazwa. It's a narrow leader with Nashville Jack closing on hard on the inside. Nashville Jack joined Nazwa, takes the lead late, and Jack's home on the first. Nashville Jack. The Miners, Hello Romeo and Wisnerska, they're the 2 in it. Very tight for second. Corbito's really wound up late. Wait till she goes over further. Then Steel Knight. Nazwa weakened out after the early pressure from Shaggy. An Open Secret was not competitive today and finished last.
Number 3, a Nashville Jack. He resumed today with a very nice performance up the inside there. Jason Collett on board for Brad Widdop. Now, tight for the Miners, you had Hello Romeo there. You had Wisniewska over on the inside, and Nazwa may have finished in that 4th spot. But all honours with Nashville Jack. He looked sharp in his trials, Brad, and he's come back with a bang.
He's back in the best possible way, isn't he? He was just too strong late. You saw halfway down the straight, Nazwa did look in all sorts. Whether she over-raced a touch in the early parts of the race, she showed an abundance of early speed, trucked into the straight, but there wasn't that kick which you wanted to see if you're on at the short quote. Shortest way home up towards the inside there was Nashville Jack. So we'll just keep an eye on how this track plays throughout the day. There was a bit of kickback there. We'll see how the times stack up, but love the way that he ran right through the line, and he ran right up to his looks. He paraded well and he ran well.
That is it, yes. He looks like a nice, bigger, stronger version of him itself. Still waiting on this photo for second. No numbers up in the frame just yet, but what we do know is Nashville Jack a clear winner. Brad Widdop is on track, and he's just making his way out onto the track. Mel, Nashville Jack, lovely type, isn't he? The first time you've laid eyes on him. You were quite impressed by him, actually, weren't you?
He had a real presence about him, and I think he's only going to be a better horse out over a little bit further. The race just panned out perfectly for him today. He obviously settled leaders back, and the best part of his work was definitely through the line. So he's got a bright future. Win number 1 on the board at start number 3, and you're going to catch up with our winning trainer.
Well done, Brad. A nice effort from this fella. Resuming today, you must be wrapped with it.
Yeah, look, he's come back and trialled excellent this time through, and it's great to see him return like this.
Has he matured somewhat? Because he was always a big boy early days.
Yeah, he's still growing into himself, but he's always had natural talent. He obviously contested a couple of strong races early on, and look, I was umming and ahhing to run today, but when he drew 2, it just made it easy.
Plans going forward?
Oh, look, we'll just see. I want to go. Obviously, there's a lot of nice races ahead of us, and we'll just try and pick and choose.
Nice problem to have. Well done.
Thanks a lot.
So 2, Hello Romeo finishes second ahead of Wisniewska in third, and the 10 actually finishes in 4th spot, and that would be Corbito. So Jason Collett just jumping off this colt. He's by Farnan out of a Star Witness mare, Dixie Chick. So that was Korean start number 3. Win number 1 for him. He debuted in the Silver Slipper last preparation, and then he went down to the Black Opal Stakes where he was beaten about 2 lengths there behind King of Pop. But both trials have been quite slick. Jason trialled him his first trial, Alicia trialled him his second, and Jason's been able to get the ride here. First up, I think he got under his sister's guard there and stole the ride off her, but I'm sure he'll be full of praise for this colt.
Well done, Jace. He looks like he's come back a more finished horse this preparation.
Yeah, he's a nice horse. He's got a bit of substance to him. He trialled really good coming into it. Obviously, I don't think he minded that soft ground. It's probably on the worst side of the 6. But those are good performances. Quite soft in the end once he got to the front.
He obviously got out to 1,200 metres last preparation. Can you see him getting out further in time?
possibly in time, but like he's even off that tempo today, he was still, albeit if it was just because he was fresh, wanted to get on with it a bit more than I would have liked. So like hopefully if racing he'll relax better and it may be an opportunity to go further, but look, he's got a fair bit of speed and may not need to go further at this stage.
Well done.
Thanks.
They've run a time of 106.16 there for the 1100 and the last 600 36.97. 3, 2, 8 and 10.
Blinking, stand by for a start. Ready to go. Set. And they're racing. Binko dawdled out of the gates with Sun Source, and Forecaster jumped best from the rails and is going to lead from Star Fisticator, Prometo Handy. Going forward out wide is High Dandy, but beaten for speed. Glad You Think So in that clump of leaders, followed by Jacob's Time. Then came Mozilla. Sun Source down on the rails from Kingston Charm, and out deep is Callistamon with Nosy Parker pushing through the middle. Further back to Ajita Sosley, and Binko is the last one. So High Dandy pressed on from the wide gate and races to a clear lead now from Forecaster, and a gap back to Prometo third. A length and a half to Star Fisticator, with the field fairly well strung out. They're followed then by Jacob's Time, positioned down on the rails. Two further back to Glad You Think So. A length and a half Sun Source from Mozilla. Kingston Charm in the second half of the field on the outside of Nosy Parker. Then came Callistamon, who's fourth last at this point. 2 lengths clear from Ajita. Binko making hard work of it, and So Sleek is last of all. There's at least 16 covering the field. High Dandy in front. Forecaster creeping close to the outside. Prometo being pushed on in third. Then came Star Fisticator from Jacob's Time. At a gap further back to Glad You Think So. Callistamon still fourth last coming up the rise. High Dandy in front. A length and a half to Forecaster. Then came Star Fisticator. Prometo. Glad You Think So 5 lengths away. Putting in a half decent run here. High Dandy a length clear from Forecaster, sticking on. Glad You Think So keeps coming. It's coming hard on the outside. High Dandy being tackled by Glad You Think So. Glad You Think So strong the last 100, beat High Dandy. Forecaster third. Then Prometo, Star Fisticated, Sun Source making minor headway late. Then Jacob's Time, Callistamon never a factor. Further back to Mozilla. Then came Ajita, Nosy Parker, Kingston Charm third last, beaten the best part of 20. Then So Sleek and Binko last in. Glad You Think So.
Glad You Think So. The money was spot on. Horse number 4, John Sargent and Josh Parr combining, and he's been able to score his third career victory here at start number 22. Well backed, and the money just kept coming for him. High Dandy was bowled out in front, and he was run down late there. The 3 Forecaster I think you'll find in third spot, ahead of 16 in fourth. But Brad, all honours with Glad You Think So. As I said, money spot on, and he was good today.
He was, yeah, numbers there 4, 5, 3 and 16. So Glad You Think So hadn't won for 97 weeks, and today was the day, and he showed really good desire. You thought there at one point, halfway down the straight, these leaders were going to duke it out. High Dandy was very brave, rolling on out in front. That's the way to ride him. He's a high cruising speed style of horse. The grey Forecaster loomed momentarily, but then out of the pack came Glad You Think So, who was close enough, if good enough, and he really charged that last 50 to get the better of a very brave High Dandy.
Josh, that was a great win from this fella today. Third run, he was at his peak.
Yeah, he was. Great run, great ride, nice and patient there from Josh, and put his best foot forward when it counted.
He's been working well at home. There was really good money for him.
Yeah, he has been. It was a similar race, obviously, last start. We thought he presented pretty well here, on just a bit more give in the track as well, which I think was suited. So, he was good in good order today.
Landed in a beautiful spot.
He was. They went nice and quick up front. Josh just took a sit and was nice and patient for him. Big Glad You Think So did the rest.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Josh. The gate looked awkward, but you took care of that pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was negated within a furlong from the start, wasn't it? So we had a nice little bit of luck early, and he travelled really nice for me on a really strong tempo. And I was always confident just by obviously how the horse was presented. He looked fantastic, and John Sargent and his team gave me a really good push for his chance today.
He obviously enjoyed getting his toe in today as well.
He loved it, actually. Yeah, he's probably been asking for this sort of ground, and he got it here today and relished.
Been a little while since he's won a race. Perhaps he can take confidence off that?
Yeah, I think so. He's this prep has been nice. It's been building sort of to this point. He performed really well last time out. He just needed a nice ride today, and he sure got that.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Locked and loaded now. There's the light. Stand by. Highway about to get underway. Favourite drawn the fence in summer, and they're off and racing. In summer handled the start well. So did Straight Fire the outside. Moonbreaker going forward on the outside are Red Rags to Bulls. Smart Jazz is out wide going forward. So Scarly Japali, there's plenty who want to be up on the speed. Camp behind them, Full of Sincerity. Off the scales, caught out deep. Then came Wolf Club back on the inside as So You Are. And the last two, Jasper's Way on the outside of Grandini. So they sort out their all. Scarly Japali at odds takes the lead. Smart Jazz goes to second, followed by Moon Sweeper in third, and then Red Rags to Bulls fourth. The rails are half the outside, Full of Sincerity. Now the favourite's going to settle midfield here in summer. On the inside is Straight Fire, and off the scale couldn't find a spot in. It's caught three wide. Length and a half to Wolf Club, then So You Are, two off to Grandini, and Jasper's Way is the last one. Scarly Japali shows the way for Alicia Collett, only narrowly from Smart Jazz, who serves it up on the outside. It's trucking along Smart Jazz, and it's going to take the lead now away from Scarly Japali. 2.5 off to Moon Sweeper from Red Rags to Bulls, Full of Sincerity. There followed by In Summer, buried down on the inside, creeping closer. Off the scale out deep, then Straight Fire. So You Are moves into a three-wide position with cover, followed by Wolf Club, Jasper's Way and Grandini. Coming around the turn, Smart Jazz goes on with the job. Leads by 2.5, pushed on from Scarly Japali. Then came Moon Sweeper, Full of Sincerity. Red Rags to Bulls the inside. In Summer with a bit of traffic in front. Collett will need clear running. Smart Jazz tackled by Moon Sweeper. Full of Sincerity. Red Rags to Bulls getting a gap. In Summer's only plodding. It's Full of Sincerity. And who's this on the outside? So You Are. Going to the front here. Full of Sincerity from So You Are. Clinging on. Full of Sincerity. Won it by a length and a half. So You Are came very wide and made a spectacle of it late. Moon Sweeper third. Followed then by Red Rags to Bulls from the scale. Now, very disappointing in Summer. The gap opened up and there was no run on. Followed by Scarly Japali. Jasper's Way closed off all right. Then Smart Jazz, Straight Fire, Wolf Club, Grandini last in.
Number 2, Full of Sincerity. Matt Dunn and Ash Morgan combined to take out this week's Tab Highway over the 1,800 metres. You should find 3, So You Are, finishing off his race nice late there. 4, Moon Sweeper should be in third spot, and it was a tight go for fourth, so we'll wait for the official numbers to come up, but no official numbers in the frame just yet. But it should be 2 from 3. I'm just watching the slow-mo. 4, and it's either between 7 or 8 for Matt. Well done. That was a nice effort. Back to the 1,800 off a run last start over the 2,200. Let down well.
Yeah, he certainly did. He's done a good job, actually. He's sort of been up for a long time now, and sort of took a bit of thinking whether we brought him down here for this race or not, and ultimately we sort of thought we might get a softish track like we did, and he appreciates that sort of ground, and obviously coming back in trips lately, he was very good late, so stuck out well.
Is he a handful?
He is right now, but he's usually okay. You know, he's being a bit difficult to unsettle, but no, he's not. He's a lovely horse. He just does his thing. You know, he's pretty straightforward. Bit surprised he sort of quickened as well as he done today, because he generally sort of races on speed and just whacks away. But obviously coming back in trip and a bit more tempo sort of helped him find those gears late.
And Moonsweeper was good into third.
Yeah, exactly. And he ran very well, actually. He's probably looked the winner at the 200-metre mark, and maybe he needs a bit firmer ground. But two nice horses and a great bunch of owners involved in both horses, and a pleasure to get a winner for him.
Makes the trip up the highway more enjoyable.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well done, Ash. There was good tempo up in front and enabled you to get a nice run in transit.
Yeah, it really did. Obviously, he's back significantly in trip. And I felt riding in the last race, it was a very testing track, and you're probably going to need to really see it out well. Took a while to get into my spot. Once I was there, we got a lovely run through the race, and He quickened better than I thought he would. I was coming back in trip, but I thought he put him away well. I spent 10 minutes poking the outside of the track, walking it this morning. And when I saw one coming, I thought I probably should have gone there, but anyway, it was too good.
Well done.
Thank you.
Plenty of form lines here. The light is on and we're ready to go. The agency real estate over 1,300 metres. Go. Racing. And Cougars began well. So did Senor Tortoni the outside, but Cougars really wants the front here. Cadetta moves into a prominent role and Diddle Dumplings out wide and will have to do work to clear them. A glorious moment camps in behind. Then Bartoff from Cosmina and Star Deal is going to settle last of all. Cougars in front, but Diddle Dumpling racing fiercely the outside. Goes up to eyeball it and Codetta plonks in a very handy third. A half further back to Senor Tortoni. Length and a half to Glorious Moments. 3 back the fence on the inside of Bartoff, then Cosmina and Star Deal. Cougars in front. Diddle Dumplings doing plenty of work at the 600 metres. 2.5 further back to Codetta. On the inside is Senor Tortoni, given every hope with cover. Further back to Glorious Moments and Bartoff under pressure as they turn. Cougars, the outsider of the field, turns the corner in front, but Codetta's coming through with a nice run into second, and Senor Tortoni let go. 2 further back to Glorious Moments, running on. Cougars is all out now, and Codetta and Senor Tortoni claimed it, and now Glorious Moments is launching a big attack on the outside, and Glorious Moments put them to the sword and kicked away. That's 2 out of 2 this preparation, and a great Metro winner there for Heavy Van der Hoven. It spanked them by 4. Codetta's second, tight third, Senor Tortoni and Star Deal the outside, then Cosmina. Cougars dropped off, so did Diddle Dumpling and Bartoff.
Oh, he looks impressive, this horse, doesn't he? Glorious Moments. Again, the money was spot on. There was money late for him. Jim and Greg Lee and Heavy Van der Hoven, who this would be his last ride in Sydney before making the move up to Queensland, and he's been able to pilot this impressive gelding to a victory here this afternoon. One Codetta finishes second. I thought Senor Tortoni was going to finish third, but then Star Deal was good late, so we'll just wait for the photo to come up. But an impressive win there. In fact, 3 gets it from 4. 6, 1, 3 and 4, Brad. He might be half decent, this horse.
Well, yeah, you could say that again. Glorious Moments. There might be a few more of those on the racetrack. So he returned to gelding first up. He was a good winner. We wanted to see him do it again, but he went to a whole nother level. So just when you thought that Codetta had the race all parcelled up, she travelled sweetly just in behind the speed presented at the right time. But off her heels was Glorious Moment, and he has given them a galloping lesson. So he is very smart. I know we're talking the depths of winter, but not sure where he ends his career, but he'll be in better company than this. So 2 on the bounce, and there's still untold upside. Exciting horse.
I did hear Greg on the radio this morning, and he spoke highly of him. He's just putting it all together now. So 6, 1, 3 and 4, race time 1:18, 3-4, the last 637.32. We're off.
Well done, Heavy. He looks pretty exciting, this fellow.
Yeah, definitely is. She was so but soft in the run as well. He didn't know when to travel and when to relax. Turned a bit upside down, but that's he gave me a nice feel first time I trialled him as well. He's so raw, and he's still doing this when he's so raw. Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, he's obviously got plenty of upside. He's lightly raced, and when you did ask him for the supreme effort, didn't he respond?
Yeah, he's got a good turn of foot, which will be in the future a good advantage for him. But he's so raw, and he's showing this already. Very exciting horse.
So nice to get a Saturday winner before you make the move up north.
Yeah, I wish it happened earlier, but very grateful for the opportunity and for the team for giving me the support that they have here, and hopefully I can stay on him.
Well done.
Thank you.
Back-to-back wins, Diamond Lil, and we're ready to go. Stand by, race 5, the gates are back and they're off and racing. And Desire began really well off the inside. So did Abalor, who's going to pounce on the early lead, and Diamond Lil is working forward on the outside. So Abalor races to the lead now by a length, and Diamond Lil will sit in second, followed by Desire on the inside of Unlimited. 2 off to Green Shadows, a length and a half to Battledon, a half the outside to Super Helpful. And the last 2 in the early stages, Ruby Flyer has gone down to the inside running rail on the inside of Louisville. So the front runner here is Abalor by a half to 3/4 on Diamond Lil. Osiah third, and then came Unlimited, followed by Green Shadows. Then came Battledon, Super Helpful, Ruby Flyer and Louisville are the last 2. About 7 lengths covers the field at the 800 metres. Abalor a neck in front of the favourite Diamond Lil. Then came Osiah ridden with cover on the inside of Unlimited. 2 off to Green Shadows. Then Battledon, Super Helpful, and still the last 2, Louisville on the outsider. Ruby Flyer is really being scrubbed up now, coming around the turn, and Abalor's been well backed under the lightweight. Leads the way from the favourite Diamond Lil. Then came Osiah, who's really being pushed along on the inside of Unlimited. 2 further back to Green Shadows as Diamond Lil moved up on the outside of Abalor, and Diamond Lil races to a narrow lead from Abalor. They're dominant leaders, a mile back to the rest. Green Shadows and Unlimited. Diamond Lil a half 3/4. Diamond Lil, the favourite, is starting to pull away now, and that's a comfortable win in the wash-up. Diamond Lil beats Abalor. Third, a battle there between Osiah and Green Shadows, nothing in it. Further back to Battledon, Unlimited, Louisville, Super Helpful. Near tailed off Ruby Flyer. Favourite, too good there, Diamond Lil.
It's here, Diamond Lil. Well done, Mel. Well done, Brad. You're both really keen on her, and she gets the job. She goes back to back, recording her 6th victory from start number 13 today. Dave Pfeiffer and Jason Collard. Abalor was good. She was game, and she just is beaten by a better one on the day there. And then it was tight for them 3rd and 4th. We had Green Shadows and also Isaiah. Wait for the official numbers to go up. But Brad, she's been too good. She set off Abalor today, and she still got the job done.
She's a beauty, isn't she? She executed really well. Jason Collett rode the perfect race there, just keeping Abalor busy enough and then pushing the button at exactly the right time. So it looked like an armchair ride, at least to the eye, but I think there was a touch more to that in terms of getting the tactics spot on. They really cleared out from the rest. They were in a different postcode, battling it out for 3rd and 4th, and that's a really tight go there for that 3rd position. But she was a touch too good. She was very professional. She settled, she dropped her head, and she quickened through the line to beat a game Abalor, who still fought on courageously. There's another race for her just around the corner. It was good to see her settle again. So confirmation of that 3rd number, Uzziah, just gets the better of Green Shadows there in a tight go for 3rd.
All right, race time here, 1:38.69, 37.67 the final 600, 4.97 and 3 the numbers here on race 5. Well done, Dave. She's gone back to back. She's just an honest mare, isn't she?
Yeah, we know what mares are like. They're in good patch of form. They obviously continue to race well, and as you've seen in close, she looks great. She's in good form. She's in good order. She's always a horse who's promised a lot to us. We just had to wait for it.
Is there any stakes races around for her, or what do you do with her?
At the moment, I don't take too many decisions on race day, but at the moment I'm leaning toward giving her a short let up and aiming up to something sort of the back end of the carnival.
Looking forward to seeing her again. Well done.
Thank you.
So they're all in now, ready for the tab handicap. There's the light. Stand by. Favourite in barrier 2. She's Unusual. We're good to go. They're off. She's Unusual, jump well, so did Nana's Wish, the outside. Bright Red is right there. Few drawn wide out, they were going to chance the rum and go forward. Very Surreal, Belle Savoir and Hasty Honey as well. Then came Investment as Bright Red drifts back from Extraordinaire, and Changing Colours the last one. Plenty of pressure up front. Belle Savoir goes on with the job. It wants the front. She's Unusual will just take a tug there and sit behind as Hasty Honey rolls up on the outside. And Hasty Honey goes to second. She's Unusual Unusual will hold leaders back third and Very Surreal fourth. 2 off then to Nana's Wish on the outside of Bright Red. A length and a half Extraordinaire from Changing Colours, and Investment is the last one. Belle Savoir is the front runner for Matty Owen. Shows the way by 3/4 to Hasty Honey. 2.5 off to the favourite She's Unusual. Very well positioned. A half the outside to Very Surreal. Further back to Nana's Wish, just shading Bright Red. Then Extraordinaire, Changing Colours, and Investment the last one. 800 to go. Belle Savoir holds the front by 3/4 to Hasty Honey. 2 then to the favourite She's Unusual on the inside of Very Surreal. Further back to the informed mare Nana's Wish. Investment starts a run. Bright Red's back on the inside, just been nudged along from Extraordinaire and Changing Colours. Hasty Honey takes the lead now, dropping out Belle Savoir, and Hasty Honey draws the length and a half clear from Very Surreal, and She's Unusual is being stoked up. Investment trying to sustain a run. Nana's Wish in restricted room. The favourite's not going at all well. It's not going to run a place. Hasty Honey draws 2 lengths in front. 200 metres to go. Investment at odds is the only one going after it. So inside the final 150, Hasty Honey, but Investment putting in a big run on the outside. Hasty Honey a half in front, a neck in front. Investment draws level and got there right on the line. Investment gunned down a brave Hasty Honey. A gap back to Nana's Wish third, followed by Very Surreal, Extraordinaire, Changing Colours. My goodness, this favourite was disappointing. She's Unusual at weekend right out. Belle Savoir and Bright Red was the other one that has not gone at all well today.
Number 12 in Investment. She wins at big odds here this afternoon. Andy Atkins riding for Joe Pride. She defeats Hasty Honey, who looked home and hosed at one point up the straight. She finishes second. 2 was in third spot, Nana's Wish, and just waiting on that fourth spot. It could very well have been Very Surreal. In fact, it is. Brad, the numbers here: 12, 3, 2 and 9.
Oh, that bit of stamina just kicked in late, didn't it? You thought Hasty Honey had it all parcelled up there halfway down the straight once she kicked clear, but you saw Investment, and it was Investment, a horse that we knew would run out a really strong 1,800 metres. You're a little bit nervous, and Hasty Honey just goes down. So a sharp improvement of what we've seen in a few runs back. She has had a few excuses along the way, getting to the big expanses of Randwick. Obviously agreed with her, 54 kilos, fourth up, out to the 18, and she has won. That might be a bonus on the way through, because I think a lot of us thought that she'd need one more run. That turns out it wasn't the case, and if you found her, you were certainly rewarded.
Indeed, yes. Nice effort from her. Well, remember a couple of starts ago, she lost the rider at Canterbury, and then Joe backed her up a week later, gave her that extra run. That was over the 1550 out to the 1800 here this afternoon, and she was very good late, wasn't she? So she'll continue to step out over further. She has won up over 2400. Previously, she had good wet form coming into this, and you had a fit horse as well, and that's exactly what you needed. Joe Pride just making his way over. I said to Mel, geez, that's the best she's looked all prep now.
She's a healthy looking horse, isn't she? Beautiful, big, strong, so you think mare. Look, she's looking for 2,400 metres, but I saw this race along the way on a wet track has obviously suited her. 10 out of 10 ride there from Andy to get going a little bit early and put her into the picture. But it was good. She's always been a reasonably promising mare, and it's nice to get a Saturday win with her.
Is there a Saturday race over 2,400, or do you have to go back to midweek for her?
There's one in a couple of weeks' time, but it might be a little bit too soon for her to get straight to the 24. But look, she's in some regards she's done part of her job anyway. So she's very good on these wet tracks. She was always going to be suited. So very happy with that.
And her manners are a lot better this time around, aren't they?
Yes, she is. She's easier to handle at home. She's easier to saddle up. Everything's just a bit easier with her. So she's giving herself every opportunity.
Nice work, Joe. Well done.
Thank you.
Andy just jumping on the scales, making it all official, and Mel will have a chat to him. So Andy rode her last start. That was actually on the Kensington track. That was her third one for the preparation. She finished about 4 lengths off them on that occasion. She actually finished 4 lengths off Hasty Honey, who she ran down in the latter stages. Andy's just having a quick drink. He earned his money there. Bit thirsty? Here he is.
Congratulations, Andy. You're aboard this mare last start, and she just relished the extra distance today.
Yeah, she's a staying type. She's fit now. Joe sort of told me that she's fit as she'll probably get. Plan A was to sort of go forward and have a few behind us, but that mad rush early, I was quite happy to go to Plan B and just ride her to make sure she was strong late. with probably progression next start up even further again. But I just thought if I could get her moving when nothing else was, it's got a big advantage for me with a lightweight, and that sort of worked out for us there.
Yeah, Joe was pleased that you got on your bike early because obviously she's going to be a better mare out over a little bit further in time.
Yeah, Joe's obviously done a terrific, Ernie's team has done a terrific job with her and get her that fit. She sustained a good gallop there, and like I said, lightweight, I wanted to make sure she was in the race before they made a move sort of thing, but yeah, she had to be gritty late, and that she was.
Well done.
Thanks.
It's been a big drift today, Sacred Rocks, drawn wide out and a roper aboard. And the quaddie kicks off now at Randwick. Dream Hour missed the kick a little bit, and Sacred Rocks was second last out. Starman jumped well together with Silencer, and Lou going forward up on the outside. Driftnet will push through and hold fourth. In front of Little Contro, a gap then to Unstoppable from Able Willie, Dream Hour. Further back then to Slinky, Crop Duster, and the favourites out wide last, Sacred Rocks, and allowed to stride forward. So momentarily was last, it is now fourth last as they race down the side. Silencer hopped on the bunny to lead by a length or so on Lure. Driftnet tugging along third. Then came Starman, and Sacred Rocks is up to fifth now on the outside of the second favourite Little Contro. Further back to Able Willie, then Unstoppable, Slinky, Dream Hour, and Crop Duster is the last one. Silencer leads on the bend by a length on Lou, then Starman. Sacred Rocks is the widest, and Driftnet looking to come off heels. Little Contro staying on the fence, coming up the rise, and Lou serves it up now to Silencer, then Driftnet, Sacred Rocks, Little Contro looking for room behind them. It's Lou in a grim fight up front. Starman looming. Sacred Rocks keeps coming. He's grinding away. It's Lou and Starman. Starman the outside of Lou. Lou's kicking hard. Pushed off Starman. Lou won it. Lou beat Starman, and Slinky ran third. Then Little Contro. Sacred Rocks had a tough run today. Then Driftnet. Further back, Crop Duster, Silencer. Unstoppable second last. Third last from Able Willie, and Dream Hour was a conspicuous last.
Number 11, Lou, Kieran Maher and Tommy Berry saluting at double figures. Second up today, and he's been able to record his fourth victory from start. And number 6 certainly building a nice little record. He defeats horse number 13, Starman. I mean, Starman, he's honest. He's recorded another second placing there. In third spot, you'll find, I think was the 12, Slinky, and I didn't quite get fourth. In fact, the 5, Little Contro, has finished fourth. So that there's his run of thirds for Little Contro, but he finishes fourth today. 11, 13, 12 and 5, Brad.
Yeah, good record gets better for this horse, Lou. So obviously made a good improvement from that first up showing where he looked a little bit one-paced on the Kenzo. He's bounced off that, and he does it nicely at the finish to beat Starman, who did loom. He did loom there for a moment, but Lou was a touch too good. He goes down, runs second. Slinky was the eye-catcher. Good to see her bounce back. A more conservative ride seemed to do the trick. She was one really ripping home down the outside lane. So a little bit to unpack there as far as going forward. Little Contro, rock solid, and your favourite, your drifting favourite, the Tab got it spot on. She did a little bit of work there in the middle stages and the early stages, but once she presented, I thought she was still going to fight out the finish and just peaked on her run, that being Sacred Rock. So she'll keep for another day, but Lou looks quite progressive.
He does, doesn't he? Joe is with me, Aussie Joe, who doesn't like talking. That was nice. He really looked like he'd taken a lot of benefit from that first up run.
Yeah, he has. He's that kind of horse. He doesn't have much of a ton of foot. He's got a big action. On a bigger track here at Randwick was always going to suit him better. Obviously, he enjoyed the conditions, and I thought Tommy rode him very well. He's a horse that needs a bit of encouragement. He's very casual. He's got the best attitude. And the way Tommy rode him just kept him on his job. He just kept kicking. So he's got a great record. Good to get a win for Dynamic. And yeah, obviously he's lightly raced, so hopefully there's more to come.
Has he just continued to improve at home, each preparation?
He has physically. In his work, you wouldn't know because he only does what he has to. But physically, he's a big boy. He's finishing all the time. And obviously, that's what we see on the track.
What did you think of Sacred Rocks?
Yeah, I don't think it really worked out for her. She was a bit slow away. Just had to make that move mid-race, and then got going early, so she was always going to be soft late here. It's hard to make up a couple of efforts like that.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, Mel's about to catch up with Tommy Berry, who's back from a holiday.
Congratulations, Tommy. He was great today.
Yeah, he was. He's a lovely big horse, and I guess one thing he's got that the others don't is a lot less convictions, and he's only lightly raced. And he's a big one pace sort of a horse, so we just thought we'd have him right up on the speed today. And I don't like going too early at Randwick, but he's one horse who I had to sacrifice that and ride him to his strengths. And he hit a little bit of a flat spot halfway down, but loved how much he pulled out late to get the job done. So it was a good job by the team at home.
Big scopy fellow, and he'll be even better when he gets out over a little bit further in time.
Yeah, well, I thought that was the only thing that get him beat today was the distance. So he's in for an exciting preparation.
Well done.
Cheers, thanks, Mel.
So Lou takes out the first leg of the quaddie, 11, 13, 12 and 5. Race time 1:19.04, last 600, 36.47.
Has paid $51, winning race 6. Semyon moves in now, and they're all locked and loaded. Stand by. ATC, thank you. Owners in the rough and racing. No speed by Tarpaulin off the inside, and Termagant gets back. Now jumping quite sharply, Storm the ramparts as usual with High Dubai and Semyon going forward. The Black Cloud positions well now. Tarpaulin makes up for the average start there and is quickly improving on the rails. Black on Beauty out wide being snagged back. Bundina gets underneath it with She's All Shenanigans. Ung Pow's very wide on the course from Lulu Mona. Well back World Alliance from Cigar Flick, and 2 lengths away to Termagant. Coming up to the turn, and Storm the ramparts on the outside of Tarpaulin, stride for stride. Semyon third, the Black Cloud right behind them. Bundina's creeping right into the race on the inside, and Lulamon tracks it through. Tarpaulin comes up the rise at the 350, a narrow leader from Storm the ramparts. Then came Bundina, Lulu Mon, wide at Ung Pao, Cigar Flick to the outside. World Alliance is slicing through the pack with a nice run as Bundina takes the lead. Now Cigar Flick is lengthening on the outside. Cigar Flick going to Bundina, and Cigar Flick back in the field wide and powers away. Cigar Flick beat World Alliance. Bundina third, Lulumon fourth, followed by Black on Beauty, Ung Pao, High Dubai, Semyon. Then came She's All Shenanigans from Termagant. A gap back in the field of the Black Cloud, Storm the ramparts and Tarpaulin.
Number 4, Cigar Flick. Chris Waller trains the 8th winner here, and Tommy Berry on board, so that gives Tommy a winning double here this afternoon. Defeats World Alliance. Back in 3rd spot will be Bundina, and Luluman will finish in 4th spot. So the numbers will read 4, 5, 11 and 10. Brad?
Yeah, they went fast in the early stages. You were looking for the closers, and it turned out that there was Cigar Flick in the Cerise. So she doesn't win often, but when she gets the right setup, she sees a bit of daylight, she gets the speed on. We know how devastating she can be, and she served us a reminder there, coming right down the middle of the track. Loves wet ground, and on the back of a patient ride from Tommy Berry, who knows her really well, that paid dividends. A couple of good runs in behind. World Alliance was good in defeat, had to push his way into the clear. Once he saw daylight, he hit the line well. Bundina was good riding that speed, and Lulamon was up the fence. But Tarpaulin up to his old tricks. He's still very much a work in progress. He really wanted to run and did set it up for a back marker, and Cigar Flick said thank you very much.
She did indeed, yes. So just looking at the race time, I just need to step up here so I can see 105.63, 36.48, the final 600 metres here. Just waiting for Chris or Charlie to make their way out to the front, and we can have a chat about this. A 4-year-old mare by Churchill. That was career number 5, her 5th win from start number 26, and her first win this campaign. So her 4th run for the preparation, and she was at her peak here this afternoon. Tommy might beat. Actually, no, Chris is on his way out, so we'll have a chat to him, and then Mel can chat to Tommy for the second time this afternoon. So 4, 5, 11 and 10. Nice effort from her, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Tommy was just patient. He didn't panic. And I was actually watching the race with Charlie and said, I don't know what this Tommy's doing. I said we were going to come through them and have the last crack at them. And then I said straight after the race, that's why Tommy's a jockey and I'm a trainer.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he did. So it was well deserved. She's a frustrating horse for punters, but she tries her hardest, and when her day comes, she salutes well.
Well done, Chris.
Thank you.
Right, okay. Going to catch up with our winning rider, Tommy Berry. Well done, Tommy. You've had a bit to do with this mare, and she was back to her best today.
Yeah, definitely. She's one that you've got to ride for bad luck and hope for a bit of good luck. And today, though, the opportunity just to present to get her to the outside, but still have a bum to follow and be patient on her. And she reaped the rewards of what's been a consistent preparation without any luck. So she's in at the right time of year, and as Chris said before the race, she's going to love this sort of ground, and she did.
The good tempo up in front really helped her today?
Yeah, it did. It was always going to suit her quite well. She's a mare that needs everything to go right for her to get a win, and that's why she's so frustrating to watch and frustrating for the connections. And when you get as much bad luck as I've had on her, and you get to keep the ride, usually it's for a reason, and it's because you know her. So it was a good result.
Well done.
Thanks.
Apologies, Mel. I just assume you knew. Just to start talking, 4, 5, 11 and 10 on at race number 8. We've got...
Ready to run. It's a pretty open market. And they're off and racing. And a pretty good line out. Royal Commodore jumped well together with Shall Be. The favourite Living Things right up in the thick of the action as well. Core Concept is there. Now Lortza zips up the inside. Duke of Bronte handy with Zoo Prince. Now Regimental Colours drifts back a bit. Followed by Break Free. Rantan being snagged. Back to sit on the outside as Zoo Ripper. Favourite Living Thing takes the lead now from Shall Be with Duke of Bronte in third. Then came Lordster pushing through on the inside of Zoo Prince. Royal Commodore out wide. Core Concept under a punishing ride before the bend. Then Regimental Colours from Break Free. Rantan very awkwardly placed on the outside of Zoo Ripper as they turn into the straight now. And the front runner is Living Thing coming to the middle of the track. Nicely clear. Coming even wider. Duke of Bronte down the outside. Back on the inside. Regimental Colours and Rantan. Living Thing in front. Duke of Bronte's running a big race on the outside. Duke of Bronte moved up to Living Thing. Then Regimental Colours. Duke of Bronte wide out. Regimental Colours knuckling down. Knuckling down. They hit it. Yes, got up. Regimental Colours got up in the last bound to beat Duke of Bronte. Big run by Bronte today. Then Living Thing, followed by Break Free, Rantan, Zoo Ripper, Core Concept, a gap to Royal Commodore, followed by Lordster, then Shall Be, and Zoo Prince.
It looks like Regimental Colours on the inside there has just got the head down in front of the fast finishing Duke of Bronte. He was excellent out wide. Back in the third spot will be the 5, which was Living Thing, and fourth will go to Rantan, horse number 10. So it will read 12, 14, 5 and 10 on race number 9. Björn, well done. She's been a filly that you've just worked through the grades, and she's ticked off that Saturday grade now.
Yeah, and very, very happy. Crestfield have been really good supporters of mine for a long time, and she's got a great pedigree, and she's a very fast filly. I thought Jason was able to harness that very well today. And I thought it was a really strong win. She's a filly that continues to improve, and yeah, big thrill.
Will she continue to work through the grades, do you think?
Well, just have a bit of a think about it. When you can win as a 3-year-old at Randwick on Saturday, I always like to think that going forward, be able to get to that black type, and that's what Crestfield are after. And I was pretty confident. I thought she paraded great. Her work on Tuesday was fantastic. And if you had listened to my Instagram live yesterday, she was my top tip of the weekend. So for all those followers, thank you very much, and keep supporting.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, on 3, 2, 1. Well done, Jace. You're allowed her to find her feet early and just harness that early speed.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep her as relaxed as we could. As Bjorn alluded to, I had a feel of her Tuesday and she took control of me. It was a bit of fun. So I was very quiet going to the start, and even out the gates I didn't want to rev her up, and the race flowed lovely. I sort of come through the inner, which wasn't the best, but she worked through it, and she was strong late. That last 100 was great, and even last start she was strong late after overdoing it. So
only lightly raced. She looks like a horse that's got plenty of upside.
She does. It's just a case of getting her racing manners sorted, because like as you've seen, she does it quite a bit wrong. There's a lot there, but it's just a case of experiences helping her.
Well done.
Thank you.
There's the light. Stand by for the last of 10. ATC, thank you, stable staff handicap. Ready to go. And they're racing. And is that Mr. Kipchoge bouncing out in front? Punton goes forward, Aix-en-Provence goes forward, and Pure Alpha, followed by Travolta. I've been trying Miracle Spinel Dessous. And settling down last is the Western Front. Punton takes the lead. It's the last favourite in front, Punton. Aix-en-Provence goes to second. And Mr. Kipchoge jumped nicely today. He's up running leaders back third. On the inside of Pure Alpha. Two further back in the field then to I've Been Trying. On the inside of Travolta. A couple further back to El Dessous, then Miracle Spinner, and the Western Front is the last one. So it's the favourite Punted in front, under a good grip in the lead by a length and a half to Aix-en-Provence. Mr. Kipchoge third, now a length further back to Pure Alpha. They're followed then by I've Been Trying in advance of Travolta, Miracle Spin El Dessous, and two off to the Western Front. Down the High Street side of the course, and it's the short favourite in front, Punted by 3/4 to Aix-en-Provence. Then came Mr. Kipchoge from Pure Alpha, one out, one back. Two to I've Been Trying from Travolta. Miracle Spin, third last from El Dessous. And the Western Front still last. 600 to go. Punton under a really good grip here. Leads the way narrowly from Aix-en-Provence, and Pure Alpha gets going three wide. Mr. Kipchoge stays in fourth. Then came Travolta making ground. Coming around the turn, Punton coming well out the fence from Aix-en-Provence, Pure Alpha. Mr. Kipchoge takes the inside run. Two further back. Travolta stoked up, getting pretty wide. Going to the front here, still in front is Punton. Down the outside, Pure Alpha, and Travolta's trying the outside fence, and with success as well. Travolta moved up to Pure Alpha, and they're broken clear. It's Travolta a half, 3/4 in front, and Travolta, the only one to come to the outside fence, and bang it, one running away from Pure Alpha. The Western Front from a mile back third, and Punton's weakened out to miss a place. Then Aix-en-Provence, Mr. Kipchoge, I've Been Trying El Dessous, and Miracle Spin.
Number 5, Travolta, Jason Collett and Chris Waller. That gives Jason Collett 4 winners on the program today. Defeats his stablemate, who was Pure Alpha, finishing in second spot. 12 will wind up in a third, and that was the Western Front. Just ahead of, in fourth spot, Mel, we had the 6, didn't we, Punton? So the numbers will read 5, 7, 12 and 6, Brad.
Yeah, it took us 10 races to get there, but Jason Collett was the one that pushed the button, got right to the outside fence. We saw the likes of Ash Morgan and Dylan Gibbons flirt with those outside lanes, but there he was, right down the outside in that Nash lane. That proved to be the winning move. So he's clearly a horse that just loves getting his toe in the ground. He bounced back to that first up form. So when we get these wet tracks, he's an import that you can continue to follow with confidence. So he's still lightly raced. There still might be more to come from him, and given that he drew barrier 2 there, a pretty handy ride from Jace.
Numbers on the final race, 5, 7, 12 and 6, 36, 7, 8, the last 600. The race time, 1:53, 6, 9. That wraps up a great day from Randwick. Chris, this fella was great first up on a wet track. Maybe he's just a wet tracker.
We don't like admitting that as trainers or coaches, but it was a nice ride from Jason, and yeah, he's got through the conditions well to make up for, or to defend him for last start. The race just didn't really work out, and he's just sort of gradually stepping up in distance. So yeah, forgive him for last run, and we won't just put him down as a wet tracker yet.
He looks like he's really climatised this time around.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They do take time to adjust, and that first prep was very plain, but he's just found a new lease of life since he's been here in Australia a bit longer. He's probably been here close to a year now.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Jace. Back aboard this fellow today, and you were able to find the fast lane.
Yeah, he got into a nice rhythm. and I was very confident just before straightening. I had plenty of horse, and I was only sort of 2 lengths off punting, I should say. And yeah, once I unleashed, that was really good one.
Look, his form reads that perhaps he's just a wet tracker. Do you see him that way?
Look, I was confident today that he'd like it. I haven't really ridden him on better ground. He was in a race last start which was run, at a genuine tempo, and he was well out of his ground, and he ran on really well. So, look, he probably excels in the ground. Not to say you can't win on the good ground.
Last Saturday of the season, it's been a great season for yourself.
It has, yeah. I was tied with Seconded today, but got a couple up on him now, 4 anyway. So hopefully I can hold that through Wednesday.
Well done.
Thanks.